Welcome to She's Got the Dirt. All things circle track racing with your host, Brianna Hicks.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I know I had posted something on Facebook with anybody having guesses on who tonight's guest was. A lot of you guessed drivers, but I think this person is a little bit more important that keeps the track going. We have tow truck driver from New Egypt Speedway, Kevin Reed. Kevin, how you doing?
Good, how we doing?
Good. So you are kind of one of the main people that keeps our tracks going. Making sure everything's cleared on the track. There's debris, wrecks, anything like that. How did you get there? Like, what made you want to be a tow truck driver at the track?
I've actually been around racing since literally the day I was born. I come from a family of racing. I've had family that raced at Windsor and Flemington and New Egypt as well. I was literally a newborn child sitting in a car seat strapped to the bleachers at Windsor. So every Friday night I was at Windsor. Once New Egypt opened up, I was a kid in grandstands there with a lot of friends that sat there every Saturday night. And I made friends with a couple people that worked there. And I actually started working there when I was either 14 or 15, working at the Speedway, doing security and being the back tire guy for, hauling tires in and all kinds of different things. And when I got my license and I was old enough to drive, I was actually driving a tow truck. And they said, oh, well, you want to drive a tow truck? So it kind of turned into becoming that guy. And over the years, I worked for Fred himself down at the pit, and I stayed there every Saturday, and it went to driving a push truck to back to driving a tow truck.
All right. So how many years have you actually been doing, it's been a while then?
It's been a good long while now. I'd say probably close to 20.
All right. So you know the ins and outs of getting, wrecks cleared fast and all that stuff. Then probably I would say at least.
I'd say the better hand of it.
When I first started racing, this is one of my favorite memories because you were right there. I think that was the night that I got black flagged or something, and I don't know, maybe it wasn't that one. Maybe it was when I hit the wall. I think it was when I hit the wall, and you were there.
I think it was when you hit the wall, to be honest with you.
And you were there, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And you were like, go, drive. And I was like, is it broken?
Just drive the car.
I was like, oh, man. But no, you're definitely the first one that's always there for everybody. I mean, a couple of times when, I got a little nervous my first year, you were always there and you checked on me. I remember you even came back to the pit to make sure I was okay.
That's always kind of been my reason behind being there. Over the years, hey, listen, I'm not going to lie. We've had a lot of ups and downs. I personally have had a lot of ups and downs, especially with being there. I left for a little while, but a very short time, but I came back. Unfortunately, I've lost a lot of friends that were race car drivers or crew members or just some part of affiliation of the Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also on the safety team in town through the fire department. So at some point, I was always at the track, whether it be I worked for the track, I was with the fire company, and my reasoning and my goal behind who I am, I want to make sure that whether I know you as a driver or whether I know you as a crew member, that you have the safest outcome possible.
Yeah.
Yes, they're race cars, but you guys put a lot of money into these race cars. And even if you tear it up going down the front stretch, and I got to tell you, or we have to double hook you, me and the other guys are going to do it the safest, least expensive way possible to try to get your car back to your trailer and unfortunately get you on or in your trailer at some point. But my main objective has always been, again, whether I know you or I don't know you, has been driver safety and letting the drivers and crews know that if I'm there, you're going to get taken care of because there's somebody there that cares about the safety and well-being of every single person there.
Yeah. I think that's a really good quality to have if you're going to be on the track, and I've seen it, you, even if I'm not on racing or on the track, you're always the first, at least always the first person there when there is a wreck or somebody stopped on the track, and as a driver, as family, we appreciate that, you know, the drivers, the families, the crews. If we're not drivers, say, like with Kyle, like Kyle's always on the track. When he stops or something happens, you know, it's good to see somebody be there right away. And I can say, like, New Egypt, like, you guys on the track are really, really quick with that.
We try. I know that some people, they ask me, they're like, do you ever stop moving? I'll back in it. If anybody ever sees where I sit, I try to sit every night underneath the scoreboard so that no matter where I am, if I'm sitting under that scoreboard, I can see the entire track except for directly behind me.
Right.
So no matter where I got to go, if I got to go left, I go left. If I got to go right, I go right. I can spider in an X pattern across the track. And everybody says, Kevin, you don't stop moving. And that's okay. I'm okay with not stopping, because if you as a driver or Kyle as a driver, or we're going to use Go Down. Do I know him personally? Sure. Does it make a difference that I know him personally? No. Any driver that stops on that track or pulls into the infield, they stop for a reason. Whether it be, you know what, their seatbelts came a little bit loose, or they're having a mechanical issue, that driver stopped for some reason. And somebody has to go talk to that driver and make sure that they know, hey, there's somebody here that is actually able to talk to me to get me whatever I need. But for the safety and well-being of that driver, I'll drop my cheeseburger if I have to. Everybody said to me, everybody calls me cheeseburger, because yes, I'm a heavy guy, but there's probably not a second while I'm driving around. If you see me in the pits, unfortunately, yeah, I'm stopping at the concession stand. I'm not going to lie. So everybody calls me cheeseburger. And actually there's a picture floating around of me doing a wreck in turn 1 where there was a 4-cylinder that had rolled over, and I happened to be rolling the car over and had to use both hands on the controls. So the cheeseburger went in the mouth, and I worked the controls with both hands.
I can probably insert that picture.
Yeah. I mean,
think I know where to
pretty
find
bad,
it.
but I think I might have a copy of it. Somebody might have sent it to me. I don't know. But ever since then, my nickname got turned into cheeseburger. So, but I will do whatever it takes to prove that I'm there for the crews and for the drivers and for the safety. And I got heart. And I really care about you guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, we definitely all appreciate that a lot. You know, I know sometimes you guys get overlooked as, like, the appreciation from fans, drivers, like the crew members. But I think at the end of the day, it may not be said, but you guys are always appreciated for what you do there.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We don't really look for appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a job, but it's more than a job. It's a lifestyle. Just like, you know, I seen a post on Facebook the other day that said something about racing isn't just a hobby, it's a life, or however it might have went.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not in a car and I'm not driving, racing has been my life since I was a kid. A lot of our people that are down in New Egypt grew up in racing families. Whether they're the back gate flagman, the turn 4 flagman, the crossover gate guy. Matter of fact, right now we got a guy who is itching. And I mean, literally, he texts me and calls me every day. I can't wait till we go back. I can't wait. And I'm like, I know. But you got people that drive from different states to come work there, because no matter whether we're having a good night tonight or whether we're having a bad night and everybody's in an uproar, racing truly is a family. And everybody that is in them pits, you can see, even as being, we'll call it the outside guy. You know, I'm not in a trailer. I'm not working on a car. But you can see when I tow a car in, whether it be a modified or a crate or a wingless or anything, everybody around that car from other teams that are even in other divisions, everybody comes together to see what they can do to help get that car and that driver back on the track as fast as possible. And you don't see that in sports. You don't see that in baseball. You don't see other teams helping other teams. But in racing, you see everybody working together. And that's what it's really all about. It's family.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. You know, everybody's always helping each other. Even, you know, you're close in points, but they're still going to help you. It's definitely like having one big family. Sometimes everybody gets a little heated, but you know,
everybody gets heated. Listen, I have, again, we'll go back to this appreciation thing. We're not looking for appreciation, but we don't want to be talked down to either.
Yeah, you're not the enemy.
Everybody, exactly. Listen, I'm the guy trying to get your car back to your trailer,
right,
to let you work on it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, hey, don't tell me you suck at doing your job, point blank. You know,
Yeah, no.
that's not really what I want to hear while I'm trying to help you the best that I can.
All right, so there were some technical difficulties in that last clip. So if it just cuts off, that's why. But we're gonna move on to the next thing. What's the craziest or most intense wreck that you've ever had to clear?
There's been a few of them. We had one that scared me the most. I think was and you're wearing his shirt. Um, Wild Bill
Yeah,
came out too, and Wild Bill went through the turn two wall, and I don't know what I was doing, but I know that it scared me because Bill was a hell of a good friend of mine, and
yeah,
I made it a point to. I don't even think the truck was in park or park and brake or nothing, and I was halfway out of the truck screaming and yelling, "Billy, talk to me! Billy, talk to me!" Um,
yeah.
and and Bill's words were, "I'm fine. Shut the fuck up and get me out of this car." I said, "Okay." So I knew Bill was okay. Um,
Yeah,
that that was one. Um, I watched Stan Pulaski barrel roll a wingless down the front stretch and get into it with a couple other guys. Um, we had another incident where we had a guy that was in another wingless, and unfortunately his wreck was so violent that we had to fly him out. We wanted to make sure that we had care for him, and we put him in a helicopter and flew him to the hospital. Um, then we had PJ Oliver, who decided he wanted to go backward down the turn three ramp, not by choice. And when you're going up to him, you just obviously want to make sure that everybody's okay. But you get
hmm,
that gut feeling. You get that please be okay feeling
right.
when you're running up, walking up, whatever you want to consider it. Um, you get that please be okay feeling, and you get that lump in your throat, and you get the pain in your gut until you get where Billy yelled at me. Yeah, I'm fine. Get me out of the car. And then everything gets a lot better and a lot easier from there on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys see it the most. You know, you're up close and personal with it, so it's kind of like, ugh, until you know. So I get that.
Yep. I mean, it's just like anybody that would be driving down the road and you see a car accident. You just you hope everybody is okay. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, you've always been taught expect the worst, pray for the best. That's the same way we do it there. Expect the worst. The worst is going to happen, is what they tell you. Pray for the best, and that's
right,
kind of how we get.
right. Yeah. No, that's definitely something to live by. You know.
Right.
um. Do you guys like as like all the tow truck guys and the push truck guys, do you guys have like a funny tradition or anything that you guys do before you go out like to your spots or no?
Um, Not really, other than going to the
No?
concession stand. No. Um,
You guys all get a cheeseburger
and
before?
that's literally it. We'll ride around the pits. Um, we'll ride around the pits, especially on like a specialty night or a bigger night where there's multiple classes, and we try to just for our own general knowledge try to see where if there's a different car from out of state or maybe Pitt's got jockeying around for some reason, just to
Right.
try to get a knowledge of where guys are parked so that it makes our lives a little bit easier. Um,
Hmm.
but other than actually going and getting out on the track, no, we don't have a I don't even know what you call it, a ritual, we'll call it. We just kind of do what we do.
You guys are gonna have to make up like a little like handshake.
Well, we were told that this year that even though due to my size, I was apparently the most visible on the track. But I was told that due to my visibility, that we are all now getting high vis uniforms so that we can all be seen. And I said, well, that's going to be a bunch of highlighters out there. So apparently they're planning games for us, but I don't know what games they're planning.
Okay. I
That's
mean,
exactly kind of how we said. We said, okay,
just go with it, I guess, you know?
that's right.
Let's see. Do you have like a go-to drink or snack that besides your cheeseburger that you go to Wawa before each race? You're like, I need this or I need that.
Um,
Do you have that?
I'm a zero everything kind of guy. So I live off of in the summertime zero lemon lime Gatorade, zero sugar lemon lime Gatorade.
All
I'll throw the
right.
occasional water in the cooler, but it's Gatorade all day and all night to try to try to stay as hydrated as possible.
Yeah. No, that makes sense because you're in that truck for so long, so it's kind of like being in the race car, you know, when you're sweating, you want to make sure that you're hydrated throughout the night. So
Right,
that
right. I
makes
mean,
sense.
I feel so bad for those guys on a hot day because I'm like, sitting there during warm ups or heat laps or something like that. And these guys are sitting out there, and I'm like, I want to take half the stuff out of my cooler and just start walking around and spraying guys with
Yep.
water bottles. But it's
Especially being a four
it's hot.
cylinder.
It's definitely hot out there.
Yeah. Especially being a four-cylinder because we're always last. I
Hey,
can I can definitely testify for that one. It is hot as balls in the sun when you're sitting in the middle of that track.
I hear you. I hear you.
um, so how do I word this? If you were ever like, they were like, all right, Kevin, you get to pick any division that you get to race and like just go for it. What division would you pick? Like, what division would you race in?
Street stocks.
All right. I kind of had a feeling that
Absolute,
was going to be your answer.
absolute, without a doubt, street stocks. And I'm talking street stocks. I'm not talking late models. I'm not talking let's put a 10 body on a car and call it a street stock. I'm talking late 70s, early 80s, Camaro body, Monte Carlo body, steel body, leaf spring, street stocks. Um, that's what my family raced. That's what my uncle raced. And a few of
Okay.
my uncle's friends back in the day, they were street stock guys. Um, a lot of our older guys, unfortunately, one passed on. Ron Kozon, he was a street stock guy. He started in street stock. Go down, started in street stock. I truly believe, is it the fastest class? No. Is it a fun class? Absolutely. Back in the
Yeah.
day when things were able to be found in a junkyard, it was probably a little easier. But true and true, I'm a street stock guy.
All right. All right. Let's see what else. Hmm. Um, what would you say is like the hardest part of your job that you like wouldn't expect? That's a tough question.
It is. It's kind of almost an open-ended question because is there anything truly tough about our job? Depends on who you are and who how you look at it. Um,
Right.
do I think that everybody can do our job? No. Can a lot of people do our job? Sure, I'm sure they can. But it comes to a whole different level when when you grew up at a track and you grew up with these guys and you understand the insides and outs of racing and what a crew and a driver put into their car every week and
Yeah.
watching their car get messed up, totaled, whatever you want to do, we'll go back to that is the hard part. People get attitudes, people get upset, and hey, listen, I'm sorry, it's not my fault, but I'm going to do everything I can to try to get your car back in. But I'd say that's the hardest part is crews. Crews trying
Yeah.
to get what they got to get done, and I understand it. We all understand it, but we're there to help. So I'd say that's probably the hardest part is watching destruction. I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
Cars get damaged or families getting damaged. I guess you'd call it. I don't really want to say families, but
Yeah.
watching people not be there anymore because of racing that's hard too.
Yeah, no, that makes sense though. It's like 100%.
Racing's one of them things. I've seen it make a lot of friendships and relationships, and I've seen it break a lot of friendships and relationships over the years.
Yeah, I can see that. And it only takes one night for it to happen too, so.
That's right. Unfortunately, you never know what's going to happen that night when you get there. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. All right. Couple more questions. I know you have like traveled to a bunch of different tracks. What's your like favorite track that you've like gone to so far?
Mm. Every track has their own something. Every track has their own something.
Right.
Um, you go out to Big Diamond and you're sitting on bleachers that are literally stuck in the side of a hill, and they're not bleachers. But you know what? It's an experience. You go out to Grandview, and if you're sitting on the pit side, you're sitting in the bleachers and you're sitting on stacks of tires holding the bleachers up just because that's what's done. But you know what? It's an experience. Every track has their own something. I don't know what our track has as its standout something because I think that we try to do the best that we can for no matter what the situation may be.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say my favorite track, other than the fact that you have to climb the 5 mile hill to get to it, is probably Grandview.
All right. Let's see. I don't know if I really have any more questions. I feel like we covered all of the questions that I had. Is there anything you want to add?
Again, racing is its own lifestyle, without a doubt. I've met some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life through racing. Um, Whether I knew them to start, when I brought them to the track and drew them into becoming a race fan, or I met them at the track and became friendly or became family with them because of being at the track. We all lose people, and it's understandable. We lose people, and it's very hard. But I can tell you that you won't find a bigger family than a racing family. And again, everybody there, you know what? You guys might get in a fight in the pits and want to kick each other's ass because somebody rubbed somebody this way or they pushed them this way, and you're going to fight. Well, you know what? 20 minutes later, the fight's over, and everybody's standing around shaking hands and, doing what they have to do because, again, it's a family. And
Yeah.
it's amazing to see how people work together as a family because we're all in it for the same reason. Again, I'm not on the track as a driver. I'm not on a crew, but everybody there knows, hey, you know what? Kevin's here. Kevin will help us. It might even be picking up a car when they don't have a jack or something. Oh, Kevin will help us. But then in the same token, it's like, oh, well, hey, you know what? Here. And I've had people walk over me countless times. Hey, man, it's hot out here. Take a bottle of water. Hey, we got food in our trailer. Come on over. Did you eat yet? Did you eat yet? We're going to go with your mother. Your mother's famous for make sure you come eat. And even Kyle, come eat. And I'm like, dude, I don't have time. I'm going to get sauce all down the front of my shirt because mom's making meatballs. But
Yeah.
I've had numerous crews that I didn't even know knew me personally that have come up to me and said, hey, Kevin, thanks a lot for what you did. Or, hey, Kevin, stop over down to the trailer. We got sausage sandwiches or something. And
Right.
to know that these people I didn't know who these people, I knew who they were, but I didn't know
Mhm.
that they knew me. I'm just happy to know that they know that there's somebody there that cares about them.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're what keeps the track moving, you guys out there. So like we got to make sure you're fed, at least a little meatball or something here and there. Just to make sure that you're going to make it through the night cuz it's a long night, especially with you guys being out there like as fans or crews or drivers, you can kind of, sit, relax for a little bit. Relax, we'll put that in quotes. But like you guys are constantly moving, constantly like thinking like, okay, where do I gotta go? Do I have to be here? Because there's no break in between the like heat races, hot laps, the features. There's intermission, but you guys are sometimes still out there, packing the track and everything. So we gotta make sure at some point you're
Right.
eating and drinking. So
Well, that's the three of us that are record drivers. We're not just record drivers. We do a
no,
little bit of everything there. And tonight it might be, hey, tonight you're a record driver, or
right,
tonight you're gonna get in that tractor and you're gonna pack the track and you're gonna run the roller box and let's get the track done. And another guy's on a water truck. It's
yeah,
it's a team effort. No matter what we do, it's a team effort. And the good thing that I see, no matter where we go, um, myself and some of the other guys that are on the infield, we actually go to tracks together. We've made a friendship. We hang out. We do certain things together, and it's funny because all the flaggers, they kind of hang out together. They have their own little group. We call it the old guy group, but it's the old guy group because they hang out together and they go get Sunday morning breakfast and they all hang out together. The old guy
yeah,
group. The tow truck guys, we hang out together. We do. We hang out more than just at the track. We'll go
yeah,
get dinner one night, or we will. We end up going to races ourselves together. We're actually all going. I've actually never been, and I'm going next week. We're all going out to Port Royal for the short track Super Series. So, um, never been out there, but it's worth something to do. I want to go to as many tracks as I can and see
right,
what other tracks have and what other track families have and how they operate. But with that said,
yeah,
I've been to a lot of tracks, and when you see track associates, track employees, track tow truck drivers all working together for one common goal, whether it be New Jersey, whether it be New York, whether it be Delaware, Pennsylvania, wherever you go, it's just great to see that everybody works as one, and it's just cool. It's a cool feeling. I've
yeah. No,
been I've been
that's
offered
cool.
I've been offered to come down to Delaware and work at a track in Delaware, and I've been offered to come to upstate New York and work, and I told them they can't afford the food bill. So it's it's
Jesus
one of the things. I
Christ.
told them they don't have enough cheeseburgers for me.
They don't have Mama Hicks's cooking either.
They don't have Mama Hicks's cooking, and they don't have these I believe it's called championship shorts is what it was called, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they definitely don't have those. I mean, they might, but they're not going to say primary racing on the back.
They're not going to say prime rib racing, and that'll probably put me with some new jewelry in some jail that I don't want to be in.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Yeah, no, that's. I don't think if you went anywhere else, you would have as much fun as you have at like New Egypt with all of us.
I don't think so either, because again, I've been to other tracks. I've been to other tracks with drivers as the crew, and it's a whole different world for you guys compared to us. We think,
Yeah,
oh, okay, who's gonna wreck tonight? What twisted metal are we gonna have to deal with tonight? Are we
right.
prepared for the carnage, we'll call it, of what's gonna happen tonight? You guys as the crews are thinking the same thing, but on a different level. You guys are thinking, hell, what are we gonna do to be prepared to not have any damage? To, are we ready to be ready? But
Yeah,
we have fun. And when I've went to other tracks with a crew, it's like, okay, we're racing. Okay, the night's over, let's go. And that's it. I can tell you that being a part of our track and the people there, the groups there, it's fun. It's a fun night. It's a great night. And no matter how you look at it, it's just, unless things go horribly wrong, you really don't have a bad night.
right. Yeah, I mean, even if you get like slightly wrecked out, but like, your car's fixable, I feel like most of the time we still enjoy our time there, you know?
Right,
So,
right. There's been nights where, unfortunately, Kyle didn't finish because something happened or somebody twisted up a little bit, and unfortunately, I was probably the one that towed Kyle in. And you can tell he's aggravated when he gets out of the car. You can tell he's upset, just like everybody would be. But then
mhm.
20 minutes later, I'd end up towing someone else in and have to pass Kyle's trailer. And he looks at you with the biggest, dumbest, stupidest smile, ear to ear, grinning at you and waving to you. And I'm like, dude, you just wrecked your car. What are you happy about? He's like, oh, I get to see you. Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah. No, I
So,
think being like going back to what you were saying about like family, like we enjoy seeing everybody there, we met you through the track, we see you all over the place. We talk to you all the time now. If we're just a big family that all comes together, and you kind of just you branch out of the track and you do things outside of it because you are family. You become friends with everybody pretty much. So
absolutely.
it's a
Absolutely.
really cool thing to be able to be part of that.
Well, that's like, what was it, a month ago now? I guess it was. Yeah, first or second week in January. Uh, you, Kyle, me, my wife, we all went and supported Bryce Leka for the quarter midget
Yeah,
banquet out in Bordentown. I've known the kid since he was born. I love the family. They are family.
yeah,
I, Everybody knows 9 times out of 10, if somebody says, hey, who can we call to help us out? Call me. If you don't have
yeah,
my number, people have ways of getting a hold of me. I'm going to be the guy that, I don't care if it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I live by the track. I grew up in this town. I've lived here almost my entire life.
yeah.
I'm the guy that if you need help, call me, and I'm going to come help you. I might have to go to
Right.
work in an hour, but I'm going to come help you. And that's the whole family thing. It may be, hey, so and so's friend so and so lost their keys at the track and needs a ride to who knows where. Okay, well, jump in the
Right.
truck and I'll take you home, kind of deal. But it's the family aspect. It doesn't matter what it is. Um, if somebody's in the hospital, everybody checks on everybody. If
Yeah.
somebody has a birthday, they're getting 400 happy birthdays because it's everybody they know. Then it's the track family. So it's a
Yeah.
whole different ball game. It really is, and it's something that I can tell you, I'm proud and happy to have grown up in, and still have a part of something to do with it. Because there was a short time where I didn't work at the track, and I had a falling out, and I didn't even want to be there. Um,
Mhm.
and something clicked in my head, and I went, "What are you doing, man? Go back to the track. That's where you
Yeah.
belong. That's where you need to be. That's where your friends are. That's where your family is. Go back to the track." And night and day, complete different scenario of take yourself out of a bad mood, go to the track. There's times that, everybody's down there working on things, and it's just, oh, let me stop in and see what's going on. And it instantly puts you in a better mood because
Yeah.
it's the track. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know how to explain it either, but yeah, I mean, it's you know, towards the end of the last season, I was like, all right, this is kind of every Saturday we're here, I'm ready for like the off season, and then like by the end of December, January ish, I was like, all right, let's go back. I
Right.
want to see all my friends again, like every week and everything. Like, it gives you something to do. It's something to look forward to throughout the week. And now that like we're so close, I'm like, oh, I need to go back now.
Right. Right. Exactly. I mean, I can't tell you how many nights I counted where at the end of the night I'm pulling up to the trailer, and you're almost sound asleep on the side of the trailer, but you're there,
Yeah,
and you had a good night. If I knew that you were sleeping, you had a good night, kind of deal. But it
yeah,
does, even for us, halfway through the year, a quarter, three quarters of the way through the year, like, all right, come on, like, are we done yet? Are we done? How much longer are we got to do this? Are we done? And then it gets into the winter season, and you're like, man, like, how long until we go back to the track? Like, I'm ready to go back and tow some race cars. How long until we go back?
yeah,
So it's definitely a whole different feeling. It really is.
yeah. No, it's probably I'm like when Kyle first started racing, I was like, all right, we'll kind of whatever. And now it's like being with Kyle like winning the championship last year, and like I felt like we've gotten more and more involved in the track. So I'm like, all right, I feel like we're gonna be doing this forever now. So I have to like
Yep.
it is what it is at this point, it's part of it's part of our life now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
You're in it now. You're in
yeah.
it, and you're not getting out of it, and you're stuck in it.
Yeah. I didn't realize that at first when Kyle first started racing.
Yep. Well, see, when
I
Kyle
thought it
first
was
started, when you got in the car, and you said, hey, you know what? I like it, but this just isn't for me. I knew that you weren't going anywhere. That you're stuck in it now, and
yeah, no.
not only is it awesome that you're stuck in it, but if Kyle is there, your parents are there, and that's just absolutely awesome to see that. Again, family aspect,
Yeah.
for your mom and dad to show up and support not only Kyle, but the support and the friendships that they've made throughout the track. If people don't know your parents, they're not there every week. That's for sure. That's
Yeah.
like, well, not knowing your mom and dad is like not knowing Big Al Cheney, who's 8 feet tall. Everybody
I
goes,
don't know
oh,
about
who's that
that,
guy?
but
Yeah, they walk past and they're like, "Oh, look, it's Mama J. What you doing, Mama J? Where's the meatballs?"
yeah, no, it's definitely become a whole family thing, even with like Kyle's pop-up and everything, he comes as much as he can, and he loves it. He'll go over talk to I don't know, he'll go over talking to like Penny and Robbie, or he'll be down there talking to like whoever, because we've all become family, like, everybody knows each other there, so
Right,
it's definitely
right.
really cool.
Yep. I mean, yeah, you're there to support everybody. I'm there to support everybody, everybody
Yeah.
plays games and tricks on people, and who knows, switches your sausage sandwich for something spicy, and you're like, that kind of deal, or puts a water balloon under your seat or something. But it's
Oh
old
man.
school. I'll tell you. Listen, I found some crazy stuff in my wrecker. Let me tell you. I found a
Oh
water balloon
boy.
sitting on my seat. I found an air horn stuck to my seat where I sat down and the horn blew. I still have no idea to this day who's done these things, and I'd love to find out. But I guess that you're there and you're a part of the family. People play games and tricks on you, and that's what
Yeah.
what happens. I guess if they didn't do it, it meant they didn't like me. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's it's definitely something else.
It's a whole different
Um
world, and to know that I grew up down the street from it and lived it my entire life, and know it's a whole different world, it's pretty cool.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely cool. Um all right, well, I appreciate you coming on to talk on the
Absolutely.
podcast. Um I'm very excited for 2025. Hopefully we can get some more championship shorts, as you called them, for you to wear this year.
Yeah, that's what we'll call
um
them, championship shorts. Hey, listen, you said, if I remember correctly, you said I need a model for these, and I told you
yeah,
I will model them if Kyle wins the championship.
you
So
did say that.
therefore, he kept up his part, so I had to keep up my part because I'm not going to back down on something. I said I would do it, so I did it.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately, there's probably a lot of evidence out there somewhere. Um,
There's quite a few
I,
pictures
I'm
of
I'm sure
evidence.
I'm sure there's evidence out there somewhere, but you know what? Where else can you have fun and have a good
Yeah,
time and
yeah.
be comfortable with family?
I love you, Kevin, but I think I saw too much of you that night.
I think a lot of people saw a little too much of me that night, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you for, talking and giving us your side of what you do at the track.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me on,
Yeah, of
and
course.
again, family. No matter how you look at it, whatever you do, it's family. So I can tell you, I appreciate it, and I love you guys. We're definitely there for you, and can't wait for 2025 to actually start. We're only, what are we, 3 weeks away now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, three or four now. I can't wait for it to get started. Can't wait to get back to see everybody, and hopefully we have an amazing 2025 season and everything goes great.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. And that's it for tonight's episode. And I hope to bring you the dirt real soon.